In the shadows where truth and tales intertwine, we find the thrilling, the chilling, the downright spine-tingling. From the paranormal to the peculiar, every echo has a story. Dare to delve into the unexpected, the unexplained? Brace yourself, for you're about to embark on a journey where fear meets fascination. Stay tuned if you dare, for stories that will make your heart race and your mind ponder. Welcome to the realm of the eerie, the realm of the unknown. And remember, like and subscribe, if you dare. The moon hung high in the ink-black sky, casting an eerie glow on the dense thicket of trees that surrounded me. The chill of the night air seeped through my FBI vest, a stark reminder of the gravity of my situation. My name is Dennis Hargrove, a retired special agent from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I've navigated the labyrinth of human horrors throughout my career, yet the assignment that led me to the heart of these woods was unlike any other. It began as a simple missing persons case, but there was an unsettling undertone right from the start. The disappearance occurred near Ravenswood, a small town hidden deep within the Appalachian Mountains. It's a place where people keep their secrets close, and missing persons are usually solved with a simple explanation, but not this time. As I ventured deeper into the forest, the deafening silence was punctuated by the eerie crunch of leaves under my boots. The wind whispered through the skeletal branches, its ghostly choir sending shivers down my spine. I could feel the weight of unseen eyes on me, a predator lurking in the shadows, watching my every move. The trail drew me deeper into the woods, away from the comforting glow of civilization. The trees leaned in, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, as if trying to pull me into their twisted embrace. I switched on my flashlight, its beam slicing through the darkness, yet revealing only more shadows. Time seemed to lose all meaning as the tension in the air grew thicker with each passing hour. It was then that I stumbled upon a clearing. Bathed in moonlight, a makeshift altar stood adorned with twisted symbols that seemed to have been painted in blood. A chill ran down my spine, my hand instinctively reaching for the comfort of my sidearm. This was no ordinary missing persons case. As I pressed forward, the woods seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy. The wind rustled through the skeletal branches, creating a symphony of whispers that seemed to echo with an unearthly cadence. Each rustle, each creak, each eerie whisper seemed to carry a warning, a plea to turn back. Yet the weight of my badge, the weight of my duty, propelled me deeper into the shadows. The further I ventured, the more the forest seemed to distort, to twist into grotesque parodies of nature. Trees bent and warped as if in agony, their gnarled branches reaching out like the hands of the damned. The moonlight filtered through the twisted canopy, casting long, monstrous shadows that danced and writhed with a life of their own. The air hung heavy with an oppressive silence, broken only by the soft crunch of leaves beneath my boots. Yet beneath that silence I heard it, a soft, persistent murmur, a chorus of voices, so faint and distant like the echoes of the long departed. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, a cacophony of sounds that seemed to seep into my very soul. I could feel it, a palpable dread that wrapped around me like a shroud. The whispers grew into voices, the voices into screams, each one filled with pain, with fear, with despair. Yet amidst the chaos, a single phrase repeated over and over, a mantra that chilled me to my core. Turn back. The rational part of my brain screamed at me to heed the warning, to flee from the darkness that lay ahead. But I was not just a man. I was an agent of the FBI, bound by duty and honor. Fear was not an option. I had a job to do, a mission to complete. So I pressed on, each step taking me deeper into the heart of the forest, each step echoing with the whispers of the unseen. The dread grew stronger, the voices louder, the darkness more suffocating. But I would not turn back. I had to confront it head-on. The trail led me to an old, dilapidated cabin, nestled deep within the heart of the forest. Its wooden frame was weathered, and time had not been kind. The windows were dark, void of any life or warmth. Yet it felt as if the cabin was watching me, its silence speaking volumes. My instincts told me this was more than a mere dwelling. This was a place where the veil between our world and the unknown was thin, where nightmares and reality coexisted. The air around the cabin was heavy, almost stifling, as if it held its breath in anticipation. The wind no longer whispered, but it held a pregnant silence, a respectful hush for the scene that was about to unfold. I approached the cabin with a sense of trepidation, each step echoing in the stillness of the night. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat a drum roll for the impending confrontation. The door stood ajar, a silent invitation into the abyss. I could feel the darkness seeping out from the crack, a tangible evil that made the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. My hand instinctively went to the grip of my sidearm, the cold metal a small comfort against the unknown. I took a deep breath, steeling myself against the horrors that awaited me inside. The world seemed to hold its breath as I reached the door, the forest around me falling into a hushed silence. I could feel the weight of the cabin's gaze, its dark windows watching me with an almost sentient awareness. The moonlight cast long, foreboding shadows that danced across the rotting wood, the world holding its breath in anticipation. I paused for a moment, the gravity of the situation settling on my shoulders. It felt as if I was standing at the precipice of the unknown, the abyss staring back with an almost mocking grin. But I was Dennis Hargrove, special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I had faced down the worst that humanity had to offer, and I would not be deterred by the shadows. With a determined grit, I pushed the door open, the creak a death knell in the silent night. I stepped inside, the darkness enveloping me like a shroud. I kicked open the door, gun drawn, ready for whatever nightmare awaited me inside. The scene that greeted me would haunt my dreams for years to come. Within the decrepit confines of the cabin, a tableau of terror was etched in blood and shadow. Symbols and sigils, arcane and ancient, danced in the flickering glow of my flashlight, their meanings lost to time and fear. Center stage, a figure of nightmares hunched over a blood-soaked altar, its form grotesque and unholy, a perversion of nature. The missing person, or what remained of their once human form, lay discarded at its feet like a rag doll forgotten by a cruel child. As the creature turned, light glinted in its eyes, a malevolent fire that seemed to burn from within. It was an intelligence that was not of this world, a dark wisdom steeped in the blood of countless victims. The air thickened, becoming almost solid with the weight of its presence, the very fabric of reality seeming to warp and twist around it. A chilling voice, guttural and ancient, echoed in the corners of my mind, a language that was as old as the hills and as unnatural as the being itself. The walls of the cabin seemed to pulse with its words, the symbols on the walls glowing with an unholy light, their meanings suddenly clear in my mind's eye. Then, with a speed that belied its hulking form, it lunged. Instinct took over, the years of training and survival instinct honed to a razor's edge. My gun was in my hand, the cold steel a comforting weight against the growing darkness. Shots rang out, their thunderous reports echoing in the confined space of the cabin. The creature recoiled, a snarl escaping its maw. But it did not fall. It did not bleed. It simply laughed, a sound that was as terrifying as it was alien. It was a mockery of life, a creature that defied the laws of nature and man. As the smoke cleared, it stood there, a titan of nightmare, unscathed and unbroken. More shots rang out, each one a desperate plea for salvation. But the creature seemed impervious to harm. As the battle raged on, I felt the grip of an otherworldly force tightening around me. This was no mere physical adversary I was up against. It was a creature from the darkest recesses of our nightmares, an embodiment of malevolence that seemed to feed on fear and despair. The creature lunged at me again, its grotesque form a blur in the darkness. Its voice echoed in my mind, a vile whisper that seemed to bypass my ears and go straight to my soul. It spoke in a language that was ancient and unnatural, its words writhing like serpents in my mind, promising unspeakable horrors, a darkness that would consume me. I could feel my resolve wavering, my strength ebbing away under the weight of the creature's relentless assault. It was as if it was trying to break me, to shatter my spirit and leave me a shell of the man I once was. Each physical attack was accompanied by a psychological one, a horrifying vision, an echo of a scream, a whiff of decay. But amidst the chaos, I found a spark of defiance within me. I was Dennis Hargrove, a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I had faced down murderers and psychopaths. I had stared into the abyss and come out the other side. I was not about to be defeated by this thing. With every fiber of my being, I fought back, my gun blazing in the darkness. The creature roared, its voice a chilling symphony of pain and rage. But I did not falter. I pushed back against the darkness, against the fear, against the creature's attempts to break me. The struggle felt like it lasted an eternity, a never-ending cycle of attack and counterattack, of fear and defiance. But with each passing moment, I could feel the creature's grip on me loosening, its voice in my mind growing fainter. The darkness that had threatened to consume me was receding, replaced by a glimmer of hope, a beacon of resilience. I had confronted the darkness and survived. I had faced my worst nightmare and emerged victorious. But I fought against it with every ounce of strength I had left. And so, our tale of the Campfire Horrors comes to an end. Until next time, sleep tight. Before we part ways, dear viewers, remember to stay vigilant. The Campfire Horrors may have been extinguished for now, but the embers of the unknown always remain. As you lay down to sleep tonight, don't forget the lessons from our tale. Safety is but a fleeting moment in a world of unseen. So, if you've enjoyed this journey into the abyss, don't forget to ring that bell and smash that like button. Do it before the thing under your bed decides to pay you a visit. Oh, and keep those night lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the dark. Thank you for embarking on this terrifying adventure with us. Until our paths cross again in another tale of the unknown. Goodbye and sweet dreams, if you can.